A 3-star main march is like entering in the sword fight with a spoon. Here's why going halfway on your primary team is a huge mistake, and I understand that on the hard way, because you know I was trying to split my medals between I think 3 marches: Muan, some Muan, going for Miyamoto, so swordsman, marksman, and after this I go for Wubu. And like this, you know, I make some of the heroes like 3-star. For example, my Muan is a 3-star, my Wubu is a 3-star, and at the end of the day I saw that this is not actually working very well for me. And from there I go, and I think was the best decision I make. I go with a single march and start investing, but it was actually too late for me. So I'm making this video just to share with you my personal experience, and one of the things that if I can bring back the time, I'm going to actually change. And the most important thing is 5-starring is essential for your main march. You need full skill unlocked. And I was keep telling myself that 3-star was enough, and especially, you know, because when you look one hero, you're going to see that the first, the third, and the 5-star is actually giving something. And I was like, okay, I'm going to get the first one that is boosting the skill. I'm going to get the third one, so this is like 2 boosts for my hero skills. And I'm going to put aside the 5 skill just because I'm not like quite sure, because it's like 590 medals to make one hero 5-star. And I was like, okay, at this point I'm going to leave them behind and maybe focus over the other hero, because if I 5-star one hero, I can actually have like 2 heroes that are going to be 3-star. From this point, I was thinking in this direction. Obviously, the minimum investment in one hero is going to be 3-star. This is the minimum, but investment in the main march should be a 5-star, and try to pick a march that is going to be meta. Obviously, I think the whole community in Age of Empires Mobile know that Wubu is actually a meta for season 2, Wubu is meta for season 3. Right now we're having Cyrus presented. Currently I'm still having him actually in the wheel. I'm still actually thinking over him because he's obviously a meta hero, I'm not gonna lie. There was some stuffs with him, but yeah, right now I actually have him. I have him taken from the wiki, from the legendary event. But yeah, at the end of the day, I'm looking to 5-star my teams. And if I miss this opportunity, something that actually happened back in the days, because you saw my Wubu is a 3-star, and it should be 5-star, you know. This bad boy here should be 5-star, not 3-star, because this is my main march. And a lot of people, even whales, even Krakens, actually switched to Wubu just because we was expecting this bad boy to get nerfed. Okay, we was expecting this bad boy somehow to get reduced, the damage output he is giving, but still this thing didn't actually happen. So yeah, 3-star is just not enough. Just 3-star is just not enough. And of course, legendary medals is a scarcity in Age of Empires Mobile, but at the end of the day, better have some extremely valuable legion from the mistake I make back in the days, and this is trying to build 3 legions as a wall spender. Now maybe you can build one main and something like Abomination, or some crappy second one, or maybe average or little below the average as a wall spender. But yeah, if for like wall spender, go for 3 marches. I think that is something that I keep telling myself, but I actually stop going in this direction. And right now it's extremely hard for me to level up my Wubu with universal medals, because there's scarcity in Age of Empires Mobile. Skip a whole season if you have it, is worth it. This is something that you know, I speak with some people that on the battlefield, if you're not prepared with the best march, you're going to take a lot of casualties. Maybe if you're feeling a rally, okay, if you feel a rally against some player or whatever, maybe in this case only your troop tier is going to count. But if you're trying to make a difference on the battlefield with your not well developed march, it's going to be extremely hard for me. And I speak with a lot of pro players who actually told me that they sit out of one meta cycle. This is something that they did. One meta hero, like in this case, as you can see, this is Wubu, but in one meta cycle, they max everything before they go in some other meta cycle. Obviously, yeah, as I mentioned, Wubu is for a couple seasons meta. Right now, people are having their hopes for Cyrus to actually counter Wubu, and maybe Cyrus can become a meta. And if I was investing the right way and actually take care of my 3-star heroes, most likely right now I was going to have Wubu 5-star. Most likely I was going to replace Guan Ui with Rennie and maybe Attila, and having this combo with my Wubu, and then I was have the opportunity to actually think about a second march, because I already have one maxed meta march. It's very important. I think maxing all of the heroes is something well Kraken related. People who can, you know, just spend money. For example, Mulan can be maxed from the bundles. Miyamoto, if you go to VIP, I don't know which level, can be maxed just from the bundles. These are heroes that if you have money, you can basically max them instantly when you start playing the game. You just have to open buy the bundles, heroes of I forgot the names of the bundles, but yeah, you get the idea. This is something for the whales, for the people who is free to play, and or the WoW spenders like me. Even though that I'm free to play for like over half year, I mean, I stopped actually investing that much in Heroes of History, I mean in Age of Empire Mobile. But at the end of the day, yeah, this is a regret that I make. I was thinking 3-star is going to be a game changer, but it ended up to not be the case. Now, new heroes are tempting. I totally understand that, and I speak with a couple conversation with people in the Discord. You can find the Discord in the description of this video if you want to join in our small Age of Empire mobile community. We also play there Call of Dragons, Heroes of History, Epic Empire, and King Shot. Many games are played there. New heroes are tempting, but don't break your momentum. Yeah, this is something that I did. I make Mulan to 5-star to 3-star. I make Miyamoto to 3-star. I was thinking, okay, I have infantry, okay, I have swordsmen, I have archers, and right now I'm going to get cavalry, and I'm going to be the bad boy with the 3 legions on the battlefield. I face one single Mulan and break my bones. This Mulan, obviously, it was not a normal player Mulan, it was a well Kraken because everything was maxed there. But yeah, I just understand that it's not that simple, okay? It's not that simple. Even if you have some tech, the enemy team most likely is going to get also the same tech if you're not Kraken and if you're active players. So yeah. I just pulled the new heroes and I just test them right now. This is the only thing I do, and I'm trying to get all the heroes. Obviously, some of the heroes are going to be hard for me to be get it, or they're still not here. For example, obviously King Arthur is going to be hard for me. Ashoka, I don't have Belarus, Justin the Great, Elizabeth. A lot of people are speaking about Elizabeth. For Constantine the Great, I actually need very high level of the VIP to actually have this bad boy. I hear a lot of positive feedback about the Gerta, and I'm also curious for her. But yeah, I have some heroes that I still don't have. Maybe this one was the most easy one to be get at. I don't know why I didn't get Queen Syndiok. But yeah, at the end of the day, I just get right now the heroes, and I'm testing them without crazy investment. I don't even make them. I make them around which heroes I actually test lately. Since we already know, for the people, actually right now I'm working on the audit. I think she is a great compliment for Miyamoto, but so far a lot of we already know which is the meta heroes for the specific seasons, and that's why I keep myself away from spending or leveling up heroes that the majority or the community of Age of Empire Mobile understand that these heroes is not that good. Now there is a heroes that at the beginning is not that good, but after this become extremely valuable, and I can actually point Barbossa. Barbossa is a hero that, you know, back in the days was with Richard and maybe Leonidas or Bondika, depending how you want to play. But Frederick Barbossa was not something crazy. Right now, Cyrus, Mansa, Barbossa is the team. So, you know, things change with the time, things change, some heroes shine up. And the bad thing is, the good thing about the Barbossa is you can get him from the daily bundles. The bad thing about the rest of the heroes, or that the heroes that are not in the bundles, is one time you lose the legendary event, after this is extremely hard to get this specific hero to higher stars. Okay, you may have the heroes, but it's going to be hard to make him a 5-star if you want this hero to be part from to be your main march. So yeah, I strongly suggest just focus over one march, make it 5-star each of the heroes. If you're starting in the season 1 right now, you're going to have a lot of information about the best heroes, how the things are in Age of Empire Mobile. So you can actually make a plan for your future 4 seasons ahead. But people like me who start in the global launch, okay, a couple of months after the global launch, since you know for specific countries the game comes different time. If I remember right, I may be wrong, but yeah. So like, if you ever been bited by hero and fear of missing out and regret in the next day, I want to hear, is there people like this that was also in my situation? Even though in my situation was not actually on the next day, but couple months after, I actually regret a little. But yeah, I guess this will be for this video, guys. I really hope you enjoyed. Make sure hit one like, subscribe if you're new here. I wish you a great day and see you in the next video.